Let's talk about the political circus that is Washington, D.C., where Republicans are always in full campaign mode and Democrats seem to think politics is a seasonal sport. First up, the GOP, the Grand Old Party, or as they should be called, the Radical Right. They've perfected the art of the permanent campaign, where every day is a chance to rile up the base, keep the headlines spinning, and never even stop politicking. To them, winning an election is just a warm up. Why stop campaigning just because you got the job? Remember Trump's endless rallies, even after he won? He just kept going. It's as if he looked at the presidency and thought, this isn't the real job. The real job is making sure people never stop cheering for me. And honestly, it worked. His supporters stayed fired up, his message stayed loud, and his party stayed on the offensive. Republicans don't just run campaigns, they live in them. They keep voters engaged, emotions high, and enemies well defined. They know that every speech, every scandal, every ridiculous soundbite is another opportunity to keep their base locked in. Meanwhile, over at the Democratic Party, it's like they just won a big game and then told the fans to go home and relax. Instead of maintaining momentum, they shift gears into governing mode, which sounds nice in theory, but in reality just makes them disappear from the public eye. They celebrate their wins, then vanish into long-winded policy discussions while the GOP steals the spotlight. Obama did this after '08, promising to lower the political temperature while Republicans were busy setting everything on fire. Biden did the same thing, talking about unity while Republicans were still treating every issue like a battle for the soul of America. The difference being, the GOP acts like they're in a war. Democrats act like they're at a town hall meeting. This isn't just about style, it's about power. While Republicans hold fiery rallies, push aggressive messaging, and make sure their base never cools off, Democrats too often act like they're afraid of their own voters. They hesitate, compromise, and spend more time explaining policies than selling them. It's like watching someone bring a fact sheet to a knife fight. Take Trump's recent address to Congress. Not technically a State of the Union, but it might as well have been a campaign rally in disguise. He took the stage, rattled off his greatest hits, threw in some good old insults for good measure, and kept the Republican energy machine running. He even pulled out his favorite nickname for Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, because why not? And how did Democrats respond? Some walked out, others turned their back. A few booed. Representative Al Green even got ejected for protesting too loudly. And sure, that's a response, but what's the long-term strategy here? The GOP keeps marching forward, and Democrats keep reacting. It's not enough. This is the problem. Republicans understand that politics is never ending. They campaign like their lives depend on it. Democrats, on the other hand, act like politics has an off-season, like they can just do their jobs and hope voters will remember them when it matters. Spoiler alert, that's not how it works. Perpetual campaign isn't just about elections, it's about shaping the national conversation. It's about making sure your priorities dominate the headlines. It's about keeping voters emotionally engaged, not just logically persuaded. And right now, one party is playing the game better than the other. The good news, the Democratic base is still alive and fighting. At the grassroots level, organizers are working overtime to keep people engaged, to push for real change, and to demand more from their own party. The energy is there, it just needs to be reflected at the top. So what's the takeaway? Democrats need to stop treating politics like a job and start treating it like a movement. They need to stay loud, stay present, and stay on offense. Otherwise, they'll just keep losing ground to the party that never stops running, never stops messaging, and never stops fighting. Democracy isn't a spectator sport. Stay informed, stay engaged, and hold every politician accountable. Because if one side never stops campaigning, the other side can't afford to take a break. So what do you think? Are Democrats too passive? Are Republicans ever campaigning? Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. And like and subscribe. And always remember, progress isn't radical.